Good morning, everyone. It's Rose Coleman coming to you live from my craft room here in snowy Alberta. Calgary, Alberta, to be exact. We have big, white, fluffy snowflakes falling, and it's swinter. Let's call it swinter. It's supposed to be spring, but it looks like winter out there. Oh, I don't know. It's crazy. But you know what? The moisture will probably be good for the grass, right? It means we're going to have nice green grass once it decides to melt. Hi, Kathy. Good morning. Good morning. I want to thank you all for your lovely comments about my daughter yesterday. My daughter Amanda is in grade 12 here in Calgary, and she is graduating this year. I can't even believe it. And so yesterday I had to take her for her grad photos. And we had to drive to the south part of Calgary. So, you know, quite a bit of a drive. I live in the north part. So we went down there yesterday and she had her grad photos done. I don't have them yet, but the photographer was super nice. She came out from behind and showed me on the back of her camera because she used one of those big super deluxe cameras. And she turned it around and she scrolled through the photos she took of Amanda. And I think they're going to come out really nice. So I'll share them with you guys if you're interested. She is definitely artistic. She has such a gift for art, you guys. She can paint, she can draw. She taught herself to crochet. Like this girl is always doing something with her hands, right? She puts me to shame. Like I can do stamps, ink, and paper. But you know what? She had a challenge, and I should post the picture if you guys are interested. She had a challenge in her art class last quarter. She was in Art 30, which is a grade 12 level art. And she had to send her teacher a picture of a celebrity, right? And the face of the celebrity. And the teacher printed it in black and white and put it on everyone's easels. Hi, Chelsea from Nebraska. Hello, Shelly from, Shelly didn't say where she's from. Hi, Sherry from the mountains of North Carolina. Thank you so much for your comments about my daughter. I think she's beautiful. I'm biased, of course. So a little bit about this picture. They were given a black ink pad and a white piece of paper, right? Like something so basic in the Stampin' Up! World, right? That's what she was telling me all the while we were driving to school that week. Mom, I have to do finger painting on Friday. I'm like, finger painting? She's like, yeah, we're going to be given a black ink pad and a white piece of paper, and we have to pick a picture of a celebrity and send it to the teacher. She's going to print it in black and white, and we have to paint the face of this celebrity. And I'm like, are you kidding me? She's like, yeah, finger painting. I'm like you did when you were in preschool? And she's like, well, but only with black. So I was just like, oh my God. So I picked her up that day. This was about a month ago. Her hands were black. Her fingers were black. We can all relate to inky fingers. And she showed me on her phone what she did. And they're in the quarter system. So one class is 2.5 hours. And she said, this is what I did today. And just like so matter of fact, so nonchalant. Like she doesn't think, I don't think artistic people think that they're artistic. I think they just do them. They just do them, right? So she showed me on her phone and I was like, you did that today? She's like, yeah, I did. And I was like, what? It was a Thursday actually, because the school had open house that night. And she said, my teacher asked me if they could put it on display. It's only half done, but she asked me if they could put it on display for the open house, right? Because they were going to go, parents would go through the art department. So she was on display. And then my friend Cheryl had gone to the open house that night and she messaged me. She's like, I saw Amanda's artwork. I said, you did? And she's like, yeah, we toured the art room and Amanda's artwork was right there. And so anyway, yeah, I'll share that with you. It was such an amazing piece. Anyway, she finished the course with a 98.5. That's how amazing. I just have to shout from the rooftops because I'm a proud mama over here. But she has this artistic ability that I don't have, right? At all. I mean, I can use stamps, ink, and paper, but what she can do with a black ink pad, my friends, I'll share it with you. She'll give me permission. I know she will. She's a little shy, but if I ask her, she'll give me permission to share these photos with you. So anyway, thank you for letting me share that with you. That's where I was yesterday, getting her photos done. And then we had lunch and I took her back to school for the afternoon. So it's Friday. We're here for Fun-Filled Friday. Thank you all for joining me. Thanks for the love, you guys. I appreciate it. Patty says she's joining. Oh, I lost your comment. They scroll by so fast. From Salem, North Carolina. Thank you for telling me where you're joining me from. Hello, Kathy. Kathy. Hello, hello. Got lots of Kathys here. Oh, Barbara says you're creative and artistic in a different way. But you know, I think it probably comes through me, through my dad. Okay, so my dad is a carpenter, but he likes to do, when he's not building things and doing cabinetry, when I was growing up, he built houses, right? And now that he's 71, he's still building things. He's still doing cabinets for people. He never stops, right? I think that's the key to his health, is he never stops. But he does this thing called intarsia, and if you Google it, you can see what it is. It's art form in wood. Okay, so he takes pictures and he finds pictures online, he finds patterns online, and he takes pieces of wood and he uses Dremels and files, and he files them down. And he glues them together, like different pieces of wood, and he glues them together to create a beautiful photo, a beautiful piece of work, right? Piece of art. And he did one for my mom in her memory after my mom passed away. He needed to do this he said he felt her with him, right? I don't want to cry. I'm not going to cry. He said the whole time he did this artwork, this intarsia piece of work, and he donated it to the church in my mom's memory. And it's sitting up at the altar. He just wanted it to go on the wall, one of the walls in the church. And when the minister saw it, he's like, that belongs on the altar. And it was Jesus on the cross. It was, he did an intarsia. Maybe I'll share pictures of that too. My poor dad. And my daughter is like my dad. She's very shy when it comes to her artwork, and she's very humble. Okay. So anyway, but I just think that these are the people in my life that are very artistic. And I think my daughter gets it from my dad. That's what I'm going to say. So, oh, thanks, Jen. I'm super proud of my dad for doing that. He's since done other artwork and donated it to the church. He did one of Jesus, and it was The Knock at the Door is the title of it, of this intarsia pattern. And it is like stunning, absolutely stunning. So I will post all these things. And if you're wondering, why is she posting woodwork? Then you'll know that you've referenced to this video. If you watched it, you'll know what I was talking about. Didn't mean to go off on that tangent, but I just want to thank you for your kind words. And I want to share a little bit about my daughter, because these shy, humble, artistic people deserve to be recognized, right? Good morning. You know what you're talking about. Your husband's done that with wood. Okay, so you know it's an art of intarsia. And some people have said to my dad, well, is it a kit? Do you get all these pieces of wood and you just like glue them together? And he's like, no. My dad gets the pattern. He gets a sheet of paper, and I order them online for him, because he doesn't shop online, so I have to do it. He'll find a pattern. He's like, Rose, I need you to order this for me. And he gets the pattern, and he traces out these pieces of wood, right? Pieces of wood that one section of wood, he'll Dremel it and file it, and that's what goes together. So anyway, let's get, oh, thank you, Nadine. Thank you guys for letting me share. I don't want to talk too much, and bore you, but I just, I wanted to share where my daughter, I think she gets that talent from. There are people on my husband's side of the family too. He has an uncle, Uncle Eddie, and Eddie Coleman. He is an artist. He paints pictures of scenic Newfoundland, right? So she got blood in her from both sides. So anyway, she's going to do art next year. She's going to study fine arts at University of Arts here in Alberta. She was going to go she loves theater too. You guys heard me talk about that. She was accepted at Acadia in Nova Scotia. But since then, she's applied at AU Arts here in Alberta, and I think she's going to go and explore her talent with art first, and then maybe if she wants to do theater later, she will. So we get to keep her. Yay! Okay, let's get started on Fun Fold Friday, because I have a super cute card. It's actually right over there where I was just photographing it. I better go grab it. I know, yay Acadia, Krista says. I wish she's accepted there, right? And we paid the deposit and, all of that, so she can still change her mind, but she has to I think she's finally made her decision. She's going to go to AU Arts here in Alberta, and then she can always do theater later if she wants to, right? Okay, so just reaching over for my card. I had it, I was photographing it over there. Okay, I got some stamps on my table here at my desk. that I got to clean up, and we're going to get started here. Here we go. Let's go. I'm going to flip you down. Joy says a lot of people in my family are artsy. Not me. I'm more of, yeah, crafty type. That's me too, Joy. I think stamps, ink, and paper make me happy, right? They truly make me happy. But if you tell me to do something with wood, even though I grew up with a carpenter and a seamstress, my mom was a seamstress my whole life. I can't sew and I can't do anything with wood. So I don't know, you guys. But anyway, if I wanted to learn something, I'm sure my dad would show me. I'm just cleaning up my stamps here. So your gran teaches herself to do all crafts and works in drama too. There you go. See? So this is my daughter. Yeah, she amazes me. I'm super proud of her. So I will share her pictures. Let's see where we are here. Rachel says, my son's girlfriend comes from Nova Scotia. She lives with him in, where's that? What's that flag? Is that UK? Britain? Are your sisters into art or crafting? Yes, they are. My sister Barb is a pharmacist, and she was a demonstrator before her pharmacy job got really, really busy. And but she is very artistic. Oh yeah, I should share. She did a shadow box for me for my birthday. There's 3 of us girls in the family, and she did a shadow box. A 12 by 12 shadow box frame for me, and it was unbelievable. Like, she can do lots and lots of things and decorate. Her house is like a show home. Like, she has the art of decorating. Oh my gosh, I'm just cleaning up my stamps while I'm talking to you guys. Okay, so let's get started on this fun card. Here we go. Making art makes my soul, feeds my soul. Love looking at what others do. Yeah, me too. Me too. It is so amazing to see what people can do with their hands, right? It's astounding. Okay, here we go. Look at my snowy backyard. No. Let's not look at that. Let's look down at my desk. I'll show you some pretty stuff on my desk. Prettier than snow. All right, we're still in April, you guys. We still got a host code up here at the top. Today I am using Queen Bee. Oh my gosh, I love this stamp set. Now this stamp set is featured in the mini catalog, okay? So the mini catalog, the January to April mini catalog, and it has gorgeous pieces to it. Let's see, Queen Bee is on, did you guys know that on page 84, everything's in alphabetical order? I'm just looking this up here. I should know the page 26. All right, so let's move to page 26 so I can show you what the bundle looks like. So what? Is this retiring? I thought it was carrying over. I have down here 60% off the dies. Is that right? Okay, let me check. I should know this. Queen Bee. Let me check the new catalog. I thought Queen Bee was carrying over. Okay, Rose needs more coffee. It is retiring. Oh my gosh. It's retiring, you guys. Oh my goodness. I am so sad. I thought this was carrying over. I totally thought it was carrying over. Let me just pull up my computer here and see if those dies are still available. Usually I do my homework a few minutes before I go live. I'm just going to look onto Safari here and onto my order entry. And let's see, Queen Bees are retiring and they are in low inventory. The bundle is low inventory. Okay, so I guess when I got up at 5 this morning and I plugged this in, I probably didn't have my coffee yet. So, okay, we're still going to do this, of course. Now even more reason, because they're low inventory and you need to have these in your life. Oh my gosh, I need to play with these more because they're leaving. I'm so sad. I totally thought I had another year to play with this bundle. Well, I do if I keep it, of course, right? But let me just double check and see. It's retiring. The bundle's retiring. The bundle shows that it's available. Now, you don't want to buy the bundle because the bundle is $68.25. I wrote down here on April 4th that the dies are 60% off. Let me just double check. I'm just going to put the item code in 160484 and we'll get everybody on the same page here. Yes, yes. The dies are leaving and they are $17.60. So don't buy the bundle. It's cheaper to buy the stamps separate and buy the dies separate because it's 32 plus 17.60. That is $49.60. So you can get separately, okay, guys? So if you're going to order this one before the end of April, put in your item codes separately, okay? Lisa says ordered on April 12th, still hasn't shipped. Yes, Lisa, that is because Stampin' Up! Has had the biggest shipping day on April 4th in history of the entire company in 35 years. So we are, you know, being patient, being very, very patient with Stampin' Up! At this time, just because they are pulling, I mentioned this the other day, they're pulling people from all parts of the building to go on the pick line to get things picked and get it sent. If you want to place an order and have it sent quickly, you can expedite your order. Yes, stamp set will become online exclusive May 2nd. Is it a part of the online exclusives, Lorraine? Oh, okay. So that's interesting. I did not know that either. Wow. Thanks for sharing that, Lorraine. Okay, so here we have Queen Bee. It is a red rubber stamp. And when I open it, there's only one in there. We're going to use every single stamp in the package today, except for that little tiny speckle, which you could totally use. And today's card that we're going to do is called Center of Attention, and it's inspired by Rachel Tessman. I'm also going to be using some beautiful, beautiful designer series paper that's leaving. Regency Park is leaving, and it's on page 31. Love, love, love this paper. I've shown it here on my videos before. Down here at the bottom, Regency Park 6x6 designer series paper, $16.50. It is not on sale, but it is definitely a must-have in your collection. I'm going to flip through the patterns. I think I have maybe a pack and a half here. But take a look at all these beautiful florals and background patterns. They are absolutely stunning. Stunning, stunning. And I think I have one more package on the way. I love it so, so much. So it coordinates with the Petal Park Builder Punch up here. That's going to be carrying over into the new catalog, as well as these two bundles are carrying over. So the paper is definitely useful. I'm going to show you a card today using Queen Bee with that paper. And our card base, let's move all this off to the side. So our card base is going to be Petal Pink. I'm going to bring in some Petal Pink here. I'm going to raise up so you can see a little bit more of my work surface. And we're going to cut this together. I want to share with you the cutting instructions and the scoring instructions. So I'm going to take my cardstock. I'm going to pop this into my trimmer. And we're going to trim it down to 8 inches. Okay, so just need to trim off a little bit here. So 8.5 at the top here. I'm going to trim it to 8 inches. We don't need this little piece. I'm going to turn it and I'm going to cut it at 5.5. Yes, Joy, that's why the chat lines and everything, yeah, they're trying to help everyone out. And they are taking staff from everywhere to go to the pick line. And so it's like, it must be a crazy gong show there. They're trying everything they can. Everybody in different departments are taking 1 hour and 2 hour shifts to go down there and to help, right? So it's such an amazing thing. Okay, so we're going to take this piece here. Remember, it's 8 inches by 5.5. And we're going to score at 2 inches and 6 inches, okay? So we're going to pop this in here. I'm going to score it at 6 inches. Turn it and score it at 2 inches. Well, you know what? If it's 8 inches and you score it at 2 from both ends, it's the same thing, right? So I have 2 score lines like this. Then I'm going to turn the cardstock 90 degrees and line up the short line, the short side, if you will, at the top. And I'm going to line it up at 1.25 inches here. So line up at 1.25. And now what we're going to do is we're going to do a cut line from 2 inches down to 6. Okay. So we're going to use our cutting blade. So we're lining it up the edge here at 1.25, and I'm going to do a slit from 2 to 6. I'm using my cutting blade. I'm going to lower that down at the 2-inch mark, pierce the cardstock, and then cut down to the 6-inch mark. And I'm using that little line on the side of my my cutting tool Does the Petal Park punch out the flowers in the paper? Yes, it does. Yes, 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 it does. That's another reason why you need to get that one before it's gone, right? Okay, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Line up with 1 1/4 inches, and then we're going to cut from 2 down to 6. Easy peasy, okay? So we've got these 2 cut lines. Now we're going to put this back in, and we're going to line it up at the 4-inch mark, and we're going to do some scoring at the top and bottom, only top and bottom, okay? So I'm using my scoring blade, and I'm doing a score line there, and I'm going to lift up and then press down and do a score at the top up here. See that? And the bottom. So this is not scored in here at 4 inches, just the top and bottom. There's one more score line we have to do. Now, two, one on this side and one on this side, but it's going to be in between the cut lines. And we're going to line this up now at, let's see, I'm reading my lines here, or reading my notes here. Line up at the 4-inch mark, yep, and score from the top and the bottom. And then we're going to do the in-between lines at the 3-inch mark. So now we're going to line it up, and we're going to score in between the cut lines at the 3-inch mark, and do the same thing on the other side. Line it up at 3 and do a score line in the center. And that is how easy this is, you guys. So easy. So Rachel Tessman calls this the center of attention. This piece here is the center of attention, okay? I didn't show you the card again. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. Here's the card we're making, just so you have a visual, okay? So this is the card we're making. This goes this way, this goes this way, and there's my center of attention with that beautiful queen bee and the Regency Park paper, and we're going to open it up like this. Look at that. It folds flat, and it goes into your envelope, and you can flip it over, and we're going to do this too on the back. So we've got the back as a presentation. Happy birthday, beloved queen. And then we've got all of our stamps back here. Remember I told you we're going to use all of the stamps? Oh, I see all your love. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Isn't this a fun fold? And you can do this where they both go that way, but I like it to alternate them. Have one go that way and one go that way. And I'm definitely going to be making lots and lots of this fun fold. So let's get back to the fold, and I'll show you how this comes together. So we've got our cut and our score lines done. So I'm going to just bring in my bone folder, and I'm going to burnish the score lines, okay? So these pieces here, let's bring in the card and I'll show you. So the side pieces, right, they're just going to be flat like that. So we can take those and we can burnish them this way and this way. Then we've got these 2 pieces are going to fold up. This is our presentation, our center of attention. So you want to score those score lines. And then these pieces here are also going to be scored. I'm going to do one that way and one this way. Okay, so there's our structure of our card. All right, the rest is the fun part, the decorating, you guys. So we're going to grab some Designer Series paper, and I have this pattern right here. And actually, I'm going to use the whole 6x6 sheet. So I'm bringing in the paper. We're going to cut the design, and all of this will be on my blog. There's a lot of measurements, you guys. Look at my notes. There's like, I'm going to put all of this in the PDF format on a single sheet so you can print it off. Okay, so the Designer Series paper, we need 2 pieces that measure 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. So let's just take our paper, put it in at the 5 1/4 inch mark. We'll trim off this one. We're going to use this, so don't throw it away. And then I'm going to turn it, cut at 1 3/4. We need 2 of them, 1 3/4. Okay, so those are for my side flaps. Now we need also, where did I put my card? Okay, so that's for my side flaps. We also need these little pieces in here and the pieces at the top. And guess what? It's all the same piece of paper, which is wonderful. So we need 1 3/4 by 1 inch. So let's pop this in at 1 3/4 inch. And we need 4 1-inch pieces. So we're going to turn it and we're going to cut. We're using this pattern. I just turn it around so you can see. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, so we've got our 4 Designer Series paper pieces. And I was going to leave these out, but I thought this really looked nice here, these little skinny panels. So guess what? Those are 3/4 of an inch, which is this piece that I cut off, because remember my first cut was at 5 1/4. So I have this 3 1/4 inch piece, and I'm going to cut that at 2 3/4. Love it. Look, there's hardly any wastage from a 6x6 piece of paper, right? So we got 2 of those. Okay, so these are my scraps here. I could use those on another card. So let's move those off to the side. And what else do I need? While I'm doing my cutting, I just want to see there's 2 more pieces that I need that need to measure 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. So I've got some scrap white here. So we'll trim these up to 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. There we go. That's one. This is for the back. Now you could use an additional DSP piece for the back and do like patterns on the back, but I chose to use cardstock and to do stamping on the back of my card. I just wanted to use all the stamps in this set. So it's really entirely up to you what you do for the back, right? Okay, so what else do we need? I think I'm missing one piece of Night of Navy. So let's bring that in. Night of Navy, you need 2 pieces that measure 2 3/4 by 1 3/4. So 1 3/4 here. Whoops, get my trimmer to work. There, 1 3/4 by 2 3/4. That's that center panel. I have it matted in Night of Navy. So 2 3/4 and 2 3/4. Okay, so those are my 2 center pieces. I think I've got everything now. Okay, so let's do some stamping, okay? All right, so I'm going to bring in my silicone mat here, just so you can see. I'm going to do some white cardstock stamping. Let me grab my baby wipe and clean this up. It's got some little bits of paper on it. Make it nice and clean. And some glue on the back there. Okay, so I'm going to do my stamping. I need 2 pieces of white. Now, one is for the front and one is for the back. Okay, so the front one, I'm going to bring in Night of Navy ink and Petal Pink. We're using coordinating colors. So Night of Navy and Petal Pink. In this stamp set, I love that there's a background stamp right here. See this one? This one makes a fantastic background stamp for doing all kinds of different stuff. So we're going to use it with Night of Navy, and I'm going to bring in my scrap paper and stamp off because I want a second generation look. So I've got some scrap grid paper, and we're going to just grab that stamp here. Make sure it's clean, yep. And we're going to stamp once on my scrap and then once onto my sample. Once on my scrap and then on the sample. And I'm just going to cover this background piece of paper, piece of cardstock. And just get rid of the white space. And maybe one more up here in the corner. Okay, so there's my background. And then I've also got my Petal Pink ink here. I'm going to open this up. And we're going to do some sponging. Let's move this up so you can see. So I've got my little Petal Pink sponge here. I'm going to sponge the edges with some Petal Pink, like so. All right, I'm going to flip that over because I'm going to put glue on it in a second. This one, I'm going to bring in that beautiful, beautiful Queen Bee. And we're going to stamp with Petal Pink. And I'm just going to stamp her right across the center of that piece of cardstock. Okay, so she's going to go on the back of my card like that. And I'm not even going to sponge that one. So we're going to put this one on just plain white edges. And let's add some glue to this. And that's not the glue that I wanted to grab. Let's grab the one that I think has most in it. There we go. Okay, so we're going to add these to our Night of Navy pieces. And this card, it's a fun fold card, so it's a little more involved with all these pieces, but now I got a smudge on there. Okay. All right, that's okay. We can fix it. We can fix it. Let's see, do I have another piece the same size? Look at that, I do. Look at that, I put my finger on it. So that's okay. It's only cardstock, right? It's only cardstock, so you can try again. And this one is just the one with the Queen Bee. So let's go ahead and try that one more time. There's my queen bee. Flip it over, add our ink. Woo, that was a quick fix. Quick fix. All right. So that's going on to my Night of Navy background piece like this. Okay. And this one's going on the other Night of Navy piece. We've got one for the front and one for the back. And guess what? I can go ahead and glue those down. We're just going to go in steps here. Okay. So let's bring back the card base. And if you're just joining me, this is the front of my card. This is called Center of Attention. Center of Attention. So we want this piece to be the center of attention right here. Like that. I'm going to flip it over, and then this one is going to be on the inside. What happened? Did I grab the wrong one? There must be ink on my silicone mat. We're just going with this. I'll use my little sand eraser to get that little sketch off, or I might put an embellishment over it. All right, so we are going to flip this over now and add our panels to the front. Okay, so we've got some DSP that I just cut. We're going to just move my silicone. That is exactly where that ink came from. Look at that. So another thing about silicone mat, you guys hear me talk about how much I love it, and I do, but you do have to wipe off your ink. Otherwise, it kind of stays there because it's non-porous, right? So it sits there. Yeah, that's where the blue ink came from. Mystery solved. Okay, so we're going to flip all these pieces over and put the glue on them so that we can put them down on our project. So we've got, these are my side panels. Those are my skinny side panels. And these are my, I don't know what we'll call them, top and bottom panels. How about that? Okay, let's move my ink off to the side here. And we're going to just add glue, because when the glue is flowing, just go ahead and put glue on everything, right? Save yourself some time, because who likes putting the lid on your glue and uncapping it? I just like to get it all done because I'm so excited to see the final product that I'm typically impatient when it comes to waiting for the design, right? I'm just like, and a lot of people say that like card making is like instant gratification because you get to see the beauty of what you've made and you don't have to wait for weeks and weeks, right? You can make a card in like a few minutes. Okay, so there's my side panels. These skinny little panels are gonna go right here, and I got glue all over my finger. I'll get that off right away. Okay, so this one's gonna go right here. I might as well handle all these pieces and then clean my finger because, you know, just keep on going. All right, so these are going up here. Look at the stripes. Like, this is the beauty of Stampin' Up's products, right? Everything coordinates. We've got Night of Navy and Petal Pink in the paper. It coordinates with the cardstock. It coordinates with the ink. And I got a little bit of wiggle room here so I can slide this guy into place. You got a little bit of wiggle room, not a lot, just a few seconds, right? If you catch something that is not straight, you can shimmy it around and get it straight. Okay, so there's the front of my card. Like, how fast was that, right? So there we go. We've got that. Now let's do the back. So we've got our little queen bee in the middle. We've got side panels for the back. We've got the same size pieces of basic white for my little side panels. And you guessed it, I got 4 pieces of basic white for the top and bottom shoulders, if you will. I'll call them shoulders. Let's call them shoulders. Okay, so that's these ones up here and the side panels. So from the stamp set, I'm literally using every stamp in this set. So let's move this off to the side and you can see what I'm going to do. So let's do these big ones first. So I'm going to bring in Night of Navy. I've got this long, beautiful decorative stamp. I'm just going to tap, tap, tap along my ink pad here. I'm going to stamp this on the side of that strip. I'm leaving these basic white because this is where I'm going to be able to write a nice long greeting to my friend or family or whoever I'm sending this card to. All right, so I'm going to clean that up with my wipe. Then on the other side, I'm going to bring in this beautiful sprig and I'm going to stamp with Petal Pink. So just same thing. It's a big stamp, so you want to tap, tap, tap up and down until you get it inked up properly. And we're going to stamp that over here. Now, if you love coloring, you could stamp this in Memento and color it in if you wanted to. But I'm just going to leave mine Petal Pink. And now, what do we need? We need these little strips here. There's a flower. There's a little tiny flower that goes with it. Now the dies, I haven't even brought in the dies yet, you guys, but these dies are amazing. So I'm going to stamp this flower. There is a die for the flower. There's a die for the bee. There's a die for the sprig, just about everything. So one with the flowers. The other one, I'm going to bring in this awesome little bee, the tiny little bee, and I'm going to stamp in crushed curry. All right, so we're going to bring in our crushed curry. And we're going to do random stamping on this strip with the bee, like that. Maybe another one right there, and maybe another one over here. Oh, I didn't even hit the cardstock. Okay, let's try that one more time. There we go. So we got our bees, we got our flowers, right? And now we're going to do our greetings. So we're going to say, happy birthday, Queen, beloved Queen. And I'm going to use all Night of Navy. So I've got my 4 little squares. I got so much I want to show you on the screen here. I don't want to move anything. Okay, so let's put our 4 squares like this. They're not squares, they're rectangles, but we're just going to call them squares. Okay, so we're going to go happy. There we go. Where's my birthday? Here's birthday. Birthday. Beloved. And queen. Now this one's going to be tricky because the queen is almost the exact same length as my paper. So hold my breath for a second and, oh, actually I did that wrong. Okay, so we're going to try and put this all on the same one. I'm trying to make it the exact same as my sample. So we're going to stamp queen at the bottom of this one. There we go. And we're going to stamp beloved on top. I forgot that I was supposed to do that. And then the other one has the crown. And there's a die for this crown too, you guys. This is so amazing. A crown. Like, so look at that. You could totally emboss this crown with gold, right? And make it a gold crown. Okay, so there's all our pieces. I did go ahead, don't put the ink away yet, Rose. I did sponge the edges of these squares. So let's do that. Let's just add a little bit of petal pink just to soften up the edges of these really quickly here. And we'll put all this together. So my inside panels I didn't sponge, but I did do the outside ones. So let's go ahead and do those. Are you a fan of sponging? I'm curious. Do you like naked white edges or do you have to sponge your edges? I know some people are a fan and some people are not. I'm a fan of the sponging. I really feel like it ties everything together. And I'm such a fan of the coordination of color with Stampin' Up's products that it just allows me to even feature more of the color, right? Okay, so we're going to flip all of these over. We're going to get that glue flowing yet again and glue all of this down. So it's really, you know, once you get all of your pieces cut, it does go fast. All right, so here we go, adding a little bit of glue. Remember, this is all white cardstock, so I don't want to put really thick lines. I'm keeping them very, very tiny because I don't want it to ripple through the front of my card. And that is enough, just like that. Those, and you probably can't even barely see these lines, right? They're so fine. Okay, so here we go. We're going to put this together. So let me come in from the side here because I'm running out of space. This one's going right here. And this one is going to go on this side panel. And I got Night of Navy ink on my thumb, and I'm going to try my best not to get that on these white pieces. Inky fingers. It's a real thing. All right. Okay, so there's that one. And we got our flowers here. So beautiful. Now, let's see. What have we got? We've got birthdays going over here. Is this happy? Nope, this is the crowns. They're going down here. And happy is going over here. And beloved queen is going down here. There we have it. There's the back. So let's fold this together like this. Okay, so the last thing we have to do is stamp our queen. Stamp our queen on some scrap white. So let me grab some scrap white here. And I'm going to stamp her, of course, with petal pink. And did you notice I'm using block, What is this, block D? Yes, block D. And she doesn't quite fit across this way, but if you put her diagonally, she'll fit, okay? So block D is probably the most popular Stampin' Up! Block, I think, because it fits a lot of our different sizes of stamps, right? All right, so I haven't even brought in the dies yet, you guys. Let me show you these amazing, amazing dies that go with it. And these are the ones that are on sale. Okay, you get a die for the bee. Here she is. Gonna pop that right on here. Line it up. I got a little washi tape on there to hold it in place. I also got these little wings that come with the die, and I'm going to cut those out of vellum. So I got a little strip of vellum here. So I'm going to use that. Let's trim it a bit smaller so it fits on my machine better. Got some vellum. You also have this beautiful, beautiful sprig here. Oh my gosh, it is such a great addition to your cards. That you can, these are extras, so that doesn't coordinate with a stamp, but you have this one that coordinates with this stamp here, so you can cut that sprig. So you've got a stamp for the bee, a stamp for the sprig, and what else? You also have this really cool label die that you can cut out these words. And I have one here where I actually did happy birthday, but I didn't use it on my card, but I just want to show you what it looks like. And you got a die for the bee right here. This one right here, you can cut out your bee. You can also, my sticky fingers. Okay, so put it right there. You have a die for the crown. You can cut out the crown. Okay, so these all coordinate. And you also have a die. Oh, this one is just, oh, these go together. So down here, can you see there's a background for like a tiny bee and then the outline for a bee. And you also get these little flowers and you get the little bee honeycomb. Oh my gosh, so beautiful, right? And there's one of my little flowers that I cut out. So combine all of these dies plus the little bee right there, my big bee, and my wings. Oh my gosh. So you got a lot of really beautiful dies that you are going to love having these in your collection. And you've got extras here with this little sprig down here, the big sprig up here, and then your bees that you can make, right? You can do like a yellow background and put like maybe a black outline on top. Oh, I'm falling more in love with these bees now that I'm talking to you guys about it. Okay, so, oh, and I didn't mention, I'm going to use this little teeny tiny heart too. So we're going to use that little heart. And we're going to cut that out of Night of Navy cardstock. Okay, so we've got 3 things to run through my machine. And then we're going to put this together. We've got vellum, we've got a little teeny tiny heart, and we've got our bee. So I'm just going to, I've got some scrap Night of Navy here. You don't need a very big piece, just a little square for my heart. Okay, and let's bring in my Boho Blue Mini, and we're going to just put all of this onto the platform. Okay, so we've got our bee. We've got our wings. I do like to put it with the blade pointing up. I find it cuts really, really well. And I need to find a little bit of real estate on my platform here for this teeny tiny heart. So I'm just going to put this like right there. Okay, put my top plate on, and we're going to run this through. All right, here we go. Oh, I think my wings wanted to move. My wings want to fly on me here. And so did my heart. Okay. And so did my bee. I'm really testing this. I'm putting all these images on here and hoping that it's all going to go through at once. Here we go. Okay, looks like it's working. Crack, crack, crack. It's all normal sounds for my mini boss here. Okay, we've got wings. Oh no, they didn't all cut through. We gotta do that again. Okay, we've got a big butterfly. We've got that little teeny tiny heart. And I'm gonna put that die back before I lose it. And my wings. The wings didn't cut all the way through. So sometimes, you guys, it doesn't always work to load up your machine too much, right? I think that was my issue, is I put too much on here. That's okay. We can do that again. But before I lose that little heart, I'm going to go ahead and put a tiny dollop of glue there and put that heart in place so that I don't lose it. All right, grabbing my take your pick tool and the putty end to help me pick up that heart. We're going to lay that right where it goes on the bee. Look at that, so cute. Okay, but I do insist on having those vellum wings. So let's grab another piece of vellum. Just grabbing my scrap vellum here. And I just need a small piece. Okay, so we're just going to trim off some here. And we're going to try this again. So I'm just going to put this on my platform. And sometimes vellum is a little tricky. Sometimes I'm going to try just going forward, see how it looks. Because sometimes you do have to go backwards too. Let's see, did that cut? Oh, look at that. It cut it like butter. It's totally fine. Okay, there we have it. Okay, great. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Okay. I'm excited. Okay, so we're going to take these little vellum wings and we're just going to glue them right down there. Now, you could put your vellum wings underneath the heart if you wanted to, but I've already got my heart anchored down, so I'm just going to put a tiny little bit of glue right there at the bottom of the heart, and we're going to put the vellum right there. It's already curled like real life wings. Hold it in place till it's secure. You could use a glue dot for this too. And then I'm just going to take this, flip it over, and we're going to add a couple of dimensionals, like so. There, just in the middle. 2 dimensionals. And we're going to put this on the front of the card. You can flatten out the card just to put it down. And there we have it. Now you're probably screaming bling, right? Do I need bling? Yes, we do need bling. Now what am I going to put on here for bling? You could use rhinestones, you could use pearls, anything, right? So there's the back. I have lots of room here to write a greeting, even up here if I wanted to. I just wanted to cover all parts of this card because it's so beautiful. Thank you for the love. I see your hearts going up there. Let me grab some bling because we need bling. Let's see. Let's bring some pearls in. And you could even use your blends and you could color your pearls Night of Navy if you wanted to. You could color them petal pink. Possibilities are endless, right, with pearls. Okay, so where am I going to put these? Let's do a medium one. And we'll put it down here. I'm just going to leave them nice and soft. Just the plain white. And we're going to put one right here. And another one, maybe a small one. Because you look at all the different sizes you get. Love my pearls. Okay. So let's just put this one down here. Now you can bling this up more if you wanted to. Also Wink of Stella. You could totally put Wink of Stella all over your queen bee here. And even on the designer series paper and bling it up even more. So there we have it, you guys. It's called the Center of Attention card. I'm inspired by Rachel Tessman, as well as Julie Davison also did a rendition of this one as well. And it's like such a fun card, right? That, you know, even when the recipient gets it and flips it over, there's more to see on the back. So I hope you guys like this one. Hope you'll try it. I'm just catching your comments here. Karen says they're holding your orders hostage. No. You will get it for sure. You're going to get your orders. Thank you for your patience with Stampin' Up, you guys. I mean, I think it's a good problem to have that they have lots of orders, right? It just speaks for the amazingness of this company. So please be patient. And I'm just catching your comments. Thank you for everything, you guys. So much fun. Jen says, yes. I had a lot of fun making this one, and I can't wait to use this fun fold style using some of my other coordinating products that I have with Stampin' Up, of course. And let me just flip you over and tilt you here. Try not to make you dizzy. Thank you all for joining me on your Friday morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. I appreciate your time and patience while I show you this amazing fun fold card. One of my new favorites. Love it. Look at the side profile. And it uses only half a sheet of cardstock. Like, it seems like it would use more, right? Thank you all. I hope you have a great weekend. It's Friday. Do you have stamping planned for this weekend? Hope you have a chance to pull out your stamps, ink, and paper and to make something fun and to share it with someone that you love, somebody that you're thinking about. You could leave the front of your card blank like this and then, you know, stamp whatever you want or write whatever you want on the back when you're ready to use your card, right? You don't have to commit to a birthday or a thank you. If you just want to make cards to have in your stash, that's always a fun idea too, right? Thank you guys. There will be a PDF on my blog later today or this weekend. Yeah, sometimes I don't always get back to it today on Friday, but I'll try my best, you guys. Fridays tend to be a very busy day in my house, but I will try to get that PDF up for you today with the measurements so that you can make this card. And I would love to see, please share with me. Please share your cards with me and or share them on Facebook and tag me, whatever you like to do. I'd love to see what you use, what Stampin' Up! Products you use. And in your post, always like say what you use because it's fun to be able to say, oh, I never thought of using those products together, right? Thank you for posting my blog address, Jen. Thank you so much, my friend. And I'm just seeing if you guys have any other comments. Oh, Diane says no waste. Yeah, you know what, guys? This is like a full sheet of 6x6 paper. And it was just like a tiny little strip, a couple little strips that were not missing, but left over that I could totally use on another card. So that's always fun too. Okay, have a great weekend, everyone. I will see you on Monday. Oh, and I'm also still loading up those pink envelopes. So if you are inclined to add these items to your order or anything else that you want this weekend with Stampin' Up, please choose me as your demonstrator if you're in Canada. And don't forget to use my host code. The host code is 3JRKXH72. And I appreciate you all so much. Thank you again. Have a great Friday. Have a great weekend. I'll see you Monday morning at 9:30 Mountain Standard Time for another fun stamping project. Have a great weekend, everyone. Bye-bye.